All right, guys, there's been a lot of talk here lately about to use an impact driver or drill, when to use it, all that type of stuff. And I'm just going to give you what I would do in certain situations. Now, it's going to be very rare that I'm ever going to use a regular impact driver. They're loud, they're noisy, they're obnoxious, they rattle around in your hand. Some of them, they're just, I don't know, they're not my cup of tea. But, dropping the thing there, but you get the quiet hydraulic impact drivers. There's a few of them coming out. I've been waiting for the rigid, and now that noise goes down a ton, and this thing is just a joy to use, the DCF 870, okay? And what I would use to drive are these. These are number 10 3.5-inch deck screws, okay? Whether they're number 9s, whatever. Usually under 4 inches is kind of the limit that you want to be using your impact driver for, because you got to remember, there's metal hitting metal to drive that fastener in. The more that metal hits that metal, the hotter it gets, the more it wears down. The more it wears down, the quicker your tool is going to break, and you're not going to get the value that you spent on your $220 tool. Anything over 4 inches, I would use a drill. Bigger type lag screws, you know, like 3/8 by 5-inch lag screws, and you know, 1/2 inch by 10-inch lag screws, I would use a big higher torque drill like this one. And I'm just going to show you why. Watch the decibel reader as I go through these different tasks here, okay? It's in speed 2, it's its highest setting. I'm also a fan of leaving everything in its highest setting and feathering the trigger like I am right here, just to get the screw started. Just like that. You can go as slow as you want. Look, that's driving that. Look how quiet it is. That was really quiet. I'm going to try and shut up now for this one. Now the DCF 850. This is pretty much the same exact impact driver. Same size, same type of footprint. It's just a regular impact driver. Same number 10 3.5-inch construction screw. Or deck screw, sorry. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to feather it and then go a little bit faster. I hope you saw how loud that was. Now, just because I would choose this tool to do this job over and over again, I just would. This would be the tool I use, the quiet hydraulic DCF 870. That's not to say you can't use a compact drill like this rigid here, which is phenomenal, by the way. It's very compact and light. If this is all you got because you want your tool to do more for you, because it can do more than an impact driver, that's okay too. Some people claim that a drill can't do what I'm about ready to do right here. Same thing, I'm just going to feather it. Okay, now we're just going to give it hell. And it's also much faster. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you when you use these impact drivers in the manner that they're not meant to be used in, how loud and obnoxious they really are compared to a drill. Okay. This is a 6-inch timber lock. Okay. I'm going to shut up and just watch the decibel reader, guys. That was pretty loud, wasn't it? Now the drill's turn. And you can't say you can't have a quick change, because look at what I just did. Whoop, quick change. Guess what? Now you put this bad boy in. You're ready to go. 6-inch timber lock. Where are you? There you are. All right, same thing with the drill now. We're going to leave it in drill mode, speed 2. We're going to feather it. Now give it hell. Okay. It's obviously got a little 2 amp hour battery on there, but nonetheless, that's what you should be using for your bigger type fasteners, okay? Now, if you got some big boy fasteners, let's see, do we got a big boy fastener up here somewhere? Let's just do this. Only because I don't have the bit holder over here. So we're going to do a 10-inch timber lock here with the big drill, okay? Okay, 10-inch timber lock, big boy, 2904 Milwaukee fuel, right? Everybody knows it's a good tool. We're just going to feather it just like the other ones. Now we're going to give it hell. Also, too, I'm going to show you proper technique here, okay? The drill should be in line with your shoulder. We'll do this shoulder. Should be in line with your shoulder, right? If you're worried about snappy. Boom. Like that. Ooh. Going out my wood here. Oh, the second wood snap there. Okay, we have to throw that one out. All right, let's do this again. Now we got a 10-inch timber lock. If you're worried about snappy in your wrist, matter of fact, we're gonna go big or go home here. Let me see, what do we got over here? We got a 3/8 by 6-inch specs. Okay. Just so you guys can see, speed 2 and in drill mode. What is this again? I think this is nope, this is a 1/2 inch by 6-inch specs. Okay, 1/2 inch by 6-inch specs, okay? Now, this is a big fastener. If you respect the tool won't hurt you, okay? Now, usually you would drill a pilot hole for this. We're going to use a pilot hole here. We're going to pretend like it's real life, okay? If you're worried about the drill moving on you, notice how I don't got the handle on it. You can always put the handle on it, but if you can't put the handle on it, okay, you want to use your body as leverage. So if the drill's going to turn this way into you, make sure you got it up against here in line with your shoulder, okay? First, feather it, nice and easy, just like that. And if you want to go slow, you can go slow. Stopped right there. Boom. Just like that. Now, if you got to take it out, put in reverse. No wrist snappy on that one, boys and girls. So, I know I just rambled on a lot here, but we'll recap what I just said, okay? For me personally, if I'm drilling anything that has a possibility of a cam out, like a Phillips head, we'll do this one. We'll do a Phillips. So this is an instance where I would use an impact driver over a drill. Even though you can still use a drill, the possibility of cam out is greater on this. Let me get a Phillips head here. Phillips bit, sorry. By the way, these Bosch bits are awesome. It's just your regular drywall screw, okay? The most cammed out fastener of all time. Same thing, feather it. Go as slow as you want. Faster, 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 boom. Drive it in. If you want to go faster, you can. No cam out there, right? Hope you guys are watching that decibel reader as I keep working here. Let's do the drill now. Now you can dial this in with the clutch. You know, these little things here, the numbers. See this clutch? Feather it in, okay? But we'll just do it in drill mode just for the sake of argument, okay? Now, this definitely has a pretty good possibility of cam out, but if you know how to use the tool and go slow, you have no cam out. Okay? So you can use a drill for this. We're going to drive this a few times. Oh, it cammed out at the end there. Did you hear it? Cammed out a little there at the end. So you notice how it can cam out, but it wasn't that horrible. If you look at the head of the screw, it's still really intact and good. So you can do it with this, but honestly, the proper tool is the impact driver. I would never use a loud impact driver though. I am too old for that racket. If I had to choose, it would be the quiet hydraulic impact drivers all day long, except for the surge. That thing, god awful. All right, guys. I hope I explained myself good enough. Give you a little recap here. Screws 4 inches and under that have a possibility of cam out, you want to use impact drivers. Okay? Not saying you can't use a drill or drills. Just saying the proper tool for the job would be these two. Okay? If you don't have those and have a drill, you can still use a drill. I just showed you how to do it. You just got to know how to use your tool. You got to have a feel for it. There is a certain feel you got to have with your tool. You just got to find it. Okay? You could even use this one if you had to. You just dial in the clutch settings. Now, anything over 4 inches, like the 6-inch timber lock we did, the 10-inch timber lock, use a drill all day long. Okay? Bigger lag type screws and spacks and that type of stuff, I would use a more higher torque drill like we showed. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the reasons why I think the way I think. I learned a lot of this stuff from Tools with Souls. He's kind of taken me under his wing a little bit here, and he's kind of taught me a whole hell of a lot, and it's really helped me out when I was getting started, you know, kind of like woodworking and stuff, and he really did help me out a lot. So for that, thanks, Souls. I'm just not saying this because he's my buddy. I'm saying all this because I truly, truly, truly believe it, and I feel like that's the proper tools for the job. You can do whatever you want to do, guys. Skin off of my back, right? You can use whatever tool you'd like. This is a great country, and that's your right. I'm just trying to educate you a little bit more on what's the right tool to use. Just because it's easier doesn't always mean it's the right tool. And another thing, guys, I would never drill a hole with an impact driver. Never, ever, ever. The only time I would drill a hole with an impact driver, if I was on a job site and all I had with me was my impact driver, or I left my drill in the car 6 miles away. It's the only reason why I would do it. All right. Hope this helped out, guys. See you on the next one. like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for the love, guys, and I'll see you every day next week.